Welcome to the College2Career virtual college fair. My name is Jasmine. I'm going to serve as your facilitator for our session today. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping announcements. The first announcement, your camera and microphone are off, so we cannot see or hear you. Second announcement, you can use the Q&A feature to type your questions to our presenters at any point throughout our session today. Third announcement, we're offering multiple sessions, so feel free to visit our registration site to sign up for additional sessions. And finally, you will have access to this recording by visiting the website on your screen, College2Career.org. With all of that said, I want to go ahead and turn it over to our first presenter from Pacific University, Oregon.
Thank you, Jasmine. It's so great to be with you all virtually. Wherever you are, hello, I'm Maddie. I am an admissions counselor at Pacific, and my role is to be your go-to for all things Pacific University. So know that today you're going to get some tidbits and even advice from myself and other colleagues at other schools, but this is not the last time that we'll be able to connect or get you more information. But let's go ahead and dive in, learn a little bit more about Pacific. So our location, we are in Oregon. We are just outside of Portland, so about 30 minutes west of Portland. So you really do get the best of a large metro city, but we're in Forest Grove, which is a small college town that has about 25,000 people in it. So you get that small college town vibes, but still having access to everything you need. Now, we're the only school located in the same city as some really large and important industries such as Nike and Intel, Amazon. This is where you'll be able to have direct internship opportunities because we've already got that in place for you. And I'll talk more about that in a moment. But another really great piece of our location is that we're in the Pacific Northwest and just about a 45-minute drive from the coast. So we encourage our students to be academically learning, to be focusing in on those opportunities to become professionals. But we also want you to experience what the Pacific Northwest has to offer you, as well as study abroad opportunities too, as you head into the Portland International Airport. So at Pacific, we've got over 65 different areas of study. We're a small private liberal arts college, which means I'm going to have small classes for you, about 19 students in your classes, but I'm also going to have you do a little bit of everything, right? That liberal arts education. That doesn't mean that you're only studying the arts. No, I've got tons of really great programs in the sciences and technology from my physics department, where you'll be able to get a 4-year physics degree and become an engineer. There's also opportunities for you to do computer science and actually do data science, which is one of our newest majors. That came out of our direct relationship with Intel saying, hey, we need students to be trained in data science. So our professors are in touch with what's needed out in the world and then are able to bring it back to the classrooms and give those experiences. Now, you only need to pick one thing on this list by the end of sophomore year here at Pacific, and we'll guarantee that you graduate in 4 years. So for some of you, it may be a bachelor's degree is your goal, that 4-year degree. Some of you might be thinking a next step as well, maybe a master's or a doctoral program. Now, Pacific can prepare you for that in getting you that expertise in a specific area, but we're also going to encourage many other interests as well. Now, Pacific was ranked the top private research institution in the Pacific Northwest, and that came out of the National Science Foundation. So they give us money as the institution, and then we give that back to our students. We provide research facilities. Students are doing graduate level work. And that's really great because you're working one-on-one with those professors. Remember, this is Andy Dawes in this photo, a professor of physics at Pacific. This is the laser labs that you'll have as a freshman here on campus. So know that research can be in some of those technical programs. It can also be in the health sciences. It can be out in the world, in the mud, doing environmental science. So research can look a lot of different ways here at Pacific, but you're going to have that mentorship while you're here to find out what it is specifically that you're interested in, you want to geek out with our professors on and do that research or internship opportunity. So whatever you decide to study at Pacific, and you don't need to apply into any specific program, you get to jump around and figure out what it is that really fits in well with maybe some of your strengths. So anything that you choose here at Pacific, you get to go outside of the classroom and have that experience. And that's going to give you exposure to what you don't like, right? Which is just as important as what you do like. And we're going to help you refine those opportunities. Now, we also know that there's many other things about you, whether it's athletics or getting involved in some of our performing arts, and even participating in some of our cultural clubs on campus. Our largest club is our Hawaii Club. So we have about 400 incoming students each year, and about 100 of them come from the islands of Hawaii. So it's a really great experience for you to have on campus outside of studying all the time and doing these amazing internships. So scholarships at Pacific, we have really great opportunities for you to stack multiple scholarships on top of each other. Now, this middle one is very important. This is when you're automatically being considered for when you apply. So apply to Pacific. If you're a senior, I'd love to see your application in before November 1st. And, there are other scholarships that you can apply to at Pacific. And those can range from computer science to math to outdoor leaderships and robotics. We've got scholarships that you can stack, as well as a visit scholarship. So any of my seniors on today, we would love to see you in person on campus or virtually for an event where you get to hear more about the college, you get to talk to our professors, and you get money for doing a college search. So that's a great way to get connected with us, learn more, because college is about finding, what's a great fit for you, right? But we also want to get to know you in the process, and it's a great community event. So at Pacific University, we work individually with students, and this is our general contact information, but I'm also going to put into the chat my direct contact. Anyone is able to reach out with questions, from having me review your essay to talking about what your goals are, maybe what you're nervous about. So know that you can reach out individually to us, and we're here to support you. I know that this process can ask a lot. We want to ensure that we're bringing down maybe some of that stress and making that excitement for college go back up. So thank you for your time today.
Thank you. Our next presenter is Western Colorado University.
Thanks so much. And thank you to everyone that is here today joining us virtually. Welcome. My name is Lindsay Leggett, and I'm a Regional Director of Recruitment at Western Colorado University in Gunnison, Colorado. And today we're going to talk mostly about our STEM programs. So first, just a little bit about Western. We are in Gunnison, Colorado, which is about 3.5-4 hours from Denver. We're a pretty small institution, so our total student enrollment is around 3,400 students. Undergraduate is closer to 3,000. Our average class size is 17 students. We have over 100 majors and areas of study, over 50 clubs and organizations that students can join, and over 80% of students receive financial aid in the form of grants or scholarships at Western, and our mascot is Mad Jack the Mountaineer. So here's a full list of all of our STEM programs that we offer at Western. We do offer a liberal arts curriculum, so a lot of other areas of study that you can choose outside of these programs. These are just our more STEM focused areas of study. So anthropology, biology, chemistry, computer science, our partnership program, which I'm going to dive into a little bit here in a second, exercise and sports science, environment and sustainability, geology, math, and again, our partnership program with CU Boulder that we'll talk about here. So you can choose a lot of different areas of study. I think one of the reasons that STEM is really popular at Western is because of our location in Gunnison. So we're surrounded by millions of acres of BLM land, national forest land, all of this public land that students have access to, both for research and recreational purposes, which I think is really exciting. So about that partnership program that I was talking about, this is our newest and kind of most exciting program on campus. So it is in partnership with CU Boulder. So kind of how it works is that you'll spend your first 2 to 3 years as a Western student. You pay Western tuition, get Western financial aid, take courses from Western faculty. But you also have access to our brand new lab spaces, brand new building that just opened up in January. And there is a potential for a full tuition scholarship for those first 2 years as a Western student. Once you've completed those first couple years at Western, you technically transfer your credits over to CU Boulder, but we actually have CU Boulder professors coming to Western to teach those courses. So at that point, you actually get to stay on Western's campus all 4 years. You get the benefit of the small class sizes, get the benefit of living in Gunnison, but we will actually have you graduate with a CU Boulder computer science or mechanical engineering degree, which is really exciting because CU Boulder is ranked among the top 20 schools in the nation for their engineering program. And that full tuition scholarship for your first 2 years as a Western student is our Rady Merit Scholarship. Basically, all you need is a 3.5 GPA from high school, and as long as you're ready to take Calculus 1 your freshman year at Western or have already taken Calculus 4 college credit, that is an automatic full tuition scholarship for your first 2 years. So really great opportunity there as well. Here's a little bit more detailing what that looks like. So again, GPA of a 3.5, you have to declare a major in that mechanical engineering or computer science partnership program, and then be eligible to take Calculus 1, either through placement tests that Western can offer for free, or transfer credits, or an SAT score of a 630, or an ACT score of a 27 on the math portion of the test. And also, we would love to see you visit campus. So we have campus visits every weekday at 10:30, Saturdays by appointment, and then we do offer preview days as well. So if you'd like to come for a preview day, we would love to have you. That's more of a full day experience. And Western will pay for 1 night of a hotel for you and your family to come stay in Gunnison if you register for a preview day. You can find all those options at western.edu/visit. And you can find some ways to interact with us virtually at western.edu/recruitment events. And lastly, if we have any students in the room that are seniors and you would like to apply to Western for any of our STEM programs or any of our other programs as well, you can apply on our website using the free application code GOWESTERN2022. That will totally waive your $30 application fee. We're very appreciative of your time today, so hopefully that helps. But let us know if you have any questions throughout the rest of your admissions process. Again, my name is Lindsay. You can give me an email or a call or a text at any point, and I'm more than happy to chat with you. Thanks so much for your time today, and go Mountaineers.
Thank you. Our next presenter is Champlain College.
Excellent. Thank you, everyone. Hello, my name is Emily Rudolph. I am actually covering for Liz Van Luling this afternoon, but I am more than happy to talk about Champlain College, which is a small private school located in the beautiful Burlington, Vermont. So up in New England, about an hour and a half south of Montreal, Canada. So we're up in the mountain area. Right now, this time of year, it looks a lot like this with the leaves changing, that crisp air, and everyone's apple picking. So if that sounds like a good environment for you, I'm happy to talk a little bit more about the programs available at Champlain College. So Champlain is a small school, as I mentioned. Our undergraduate program is made up of 2,100 students with an average class size of about 16 students and a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So you're really getting a small personalized learning experience at Champlain, but you have the benefit of being located in the Burlington area, which is consistently named one of America's #1 college towns, as there are over 14,000 college students in this area every year. So Champlain College is really focused on getting our students ready to dive right into their careers from the second they graduate. A lot of our students, especially within our technology and computer science world, tend to have jobs before they even graduate, but 96% of our students within the last 6 years were working or continuing their education within 6 months of graduating. In order to achieve this goal, we make sure that our students are reaching certain academic milestones through 3 different tiers. So we have our major-based courses, which follow our upside-down curriculum, which means from day 1, you are diving right into your major-based classes and continuing through with them for all 4 years, getting to really know your faculty members and professors. We have our little liberal arts study program called the core curriculum, where you're learning really important skills designed to help you become an active professional to dive right in. And then we have our career flagship program called the Insight program, teaching career positioning skills and financial literacy. So Champlain actually offers 32 career-focused majors, along with plenty of opportunities with minors and 60 areas of concentration. Again, since you're starting with those major classes from day 1, as you move further into the studies, you can start really focusing on certain areas of concentration to prepare you to enter into a specific industry. So today we are focusing on our Division of Information Technology and Sciences, where you're going to find several majors designed again to get you ready to dive right into that future career. A new major that we just started offering is app development. It's one we're really excited about. And all of these are really designed through a combination of experience-based projects and classroom teaching led by acclaimed faculty who are expert practitioners in their fields. And you really will obtain skills, knowledge, and insights you need to compete in the professional world. You will get a chance to work on projects for real world clients, attend conferences in your field, and start relevant internships in your very first semester. As you can see, we also have an undeclared path. So if there are multiple majors within this division that stand out to you, you can come in undeclared into this division and try out a few different things. Another thing to note is our game programming major. So Champlain has our game studio. So if you're interested in going into the video game industry with a focus on computer programming, the game programming is a great opportunity for you. Several of these majors, including computer science and innovation, applied mathematics, and game programming, do have a pre-calculus requirement, and we will work with you on that. Champlain College is proud to hold an NCAEC status. Our cybersecurity course content, curriculum, and practices meet the criteria established by the NSA and its federal partners, which include the FBI and the Department of Defense Office of the Chief of Information Officer. The goal of the NCAE program is to ultimately strengthen our national information infrastructure by promoting higher education and research in cyber defense. So we're really happy to be notified as that. So internships are required for all of our students while they are with us. And we have the wonderful opportunity of a center of experience called the Leahy Center for Digital Investigation and Cybersecurity, where students are able to get paid internships as early as their sophomore year, working on projects for the government and local businesses in the area of cybersecurity and digital forensics. Professional services offered through the center, a lot of which are completed by current students, include data recovery, cybersecurity consulting services, and networking security monitoring, amongst much more. Some examples of internships students have recently completed through Champlain College, some of which are globally recognized companies right here in the Burlington area, like Seventh Generation. And we are named among the 10 most innovative tech hubs by NerdWallet and Forbes. Burlington, Vermont is the perfect place for tech interns. Our students are highly sought after for internships due to our career-focused education. And after graduation, again, many of our ITS students accept full-time positions with the companies where they have interned. All right, so we're just going to wrap it up quickly. We do have 2 international campuses to complete internships as well. One is located in Dublin, Ireland. The other is Montreal, Canada, which I mentioned is just north of our campus. And we have a really active student body, whether you want to be involved in clubs and organizations from ski and ride. We're in Vermont after all, so skiing and snowboarding is really popular. And we have a lot of tech-based clubs as well, including a varsity esports team. Burlington is consistently named one of America's #1 college town because you get the small school feel at Champlain, but you are sharing Burlington with over 14,000 college students every year. We do have our Count on It guarantee, which is a financial aid guarantee, which basically states that any aid and scholarship you receive from Champlain in your first year is going to remain consistent the entire time you are on campus with us. Our application is open. You can apply early decision with a deadline of November 15th. You can also apply regular decision. That deadline is January 15th. And again, I am filling in for Liz Van Luling, but you can see her email address there along with her phone number, which I will also include in the chat. If you would like to learn more about Champlain College, please don't hesitate to reach out, as Liz is more than happy to help.
Thank you. Our next presenter is the College of New Jersey.
Hello, everyone, and greetings from New Jersey. My name is Amanda Simpson, and I will be sharing information with you about the College of New Jersey, or as we refer to it, TCNJ. And I am actually going to pause my video while I present. But I am really excited and still here to share some good info with all of you. So TCNJ is a public college. We're a small size public college located in central New Jersey, about 1 hour by car from New York City, roughly about 30 to 40 minutes by car from Philadelphia. And our students really get to live and learn on a very beautiful green, grassy, suburban campus. As you can see from this photo, TCNJ's campus looks a lot like the classic images of American colleges in the movies. So our students really get the best of both worlds in terms of, a beautiful suburban environment with the access though to some major cities. TCNJ's campus is residential and self-contained. So most of our students live on campus, and that contributes to the liveliness of the campus, but also the feeling of warmth and the welcoming nature of the campus community. As a public institution, TCNJ is a little unique in that we are highly selective, so admissions is competitive. But TCNJ is known for offering, in addition to a very warm and welcoming community, rigorous academics, strong faculty-student collaboration, personalized services, and really a commitment to the success of our students. And I think as a result of the rigor of our programming, our excellent faculty, and our student success, we have been consistently recognized as a leader in public higher education generally, and specifically as the #1 public institution of our size and of our type in the Northeast for more than 20 years. In terms of the classroom experience, TCNJ's students really get the chance to develop meaningful relationships with both their peers and their faculty. Because we have small class sizes, the average is right around 21 students. Our faculty are incredibly accessible. We have a 13-to-1 student to professor ratio. All of our students are guided and advised by faculty mentors. And we find that we're a campus where our students are very happy overall. So much so that we have an incredibly high first-year retention rate, where an overwhelming majority of our first-year students realize they've made the right choice choosing TCNJ, and so they return a second year. In terms of our programming, TCNJ offers more than 50 majors spread out among 7 different academic schools, noted in bold blue. But I'm going to just talk a little bit about some of the science, health, and technology related programs at TCNJ. So our schools of nursing, health, and exercise science include a variety of programs for students who are science inclined and are interested in going into the health or health professions. Our School of Engineering offers biomedical engineering, civil, computer, electrical, mechanical engineering, and other programs. We also have an amazing School of Science that offers a variety of science programs, including biology, chemistry, computer science, statistics, and physics. And then we have 7-year accelerated health programs for students who are interested in taking their science background and going to medical school or to optometry school sooner than later. And then last but not least, we have an interactive multimedia major for students who are interested in game design. TCNJ has a number of buildings and facilities dedicated to the student experience and to student success. But as it concerns our STEM students, we have more than 20 spaces on campus for our students interested in science, health, and tech careers. And those include, we have a couple of phototyping labs, robotics labs, design studios, a simulation center for our nursing, health, and exercise science students, and more. One of the hallmarks of an undergraduate experience at the College of New Jersey is an emphasis on field experiences, including experiences doing research and interning. And so some of the ways in which our students gather this kind of experience includes senior research projects. So students in our School of Science or School of Engineering, have to complete a senior project, hands-on experience before they graduate as a part of their curriculum. Internships are not required at the College of New Jersey, but they are very common. Most of our students throughout all of our schools complete internships, and they are incredibly important and common throughout our schools of science, engineering, nursing, and health and exercise science. And then we also have some pretty unique opportunities for students to engage in research and collaborate specifically with faculty. We have a special program called Mentored Undergraduate Summer Experience, or MUSE, that pairs a group of students, a small group of students with a small group of faculty together to engage in research over the summer. And much like students at the graduate level, our MUSE students are paid for their work. Because of all of this, our students are incredibly prepared beyond TCNJ. This is just a small list of some of the employers and graduate schools that our students land after leaving TCNJ, but we find every year that nearly 100% of our students are actively employed or in graduate school within 1 year of their time at TCNJ. If anyone has any additional questions, if you're interested in attending some of our upcoming virtual programming, or if you'll be in the area and you'd like to visit campus, please feel free to check out our opportunities at admissions.tcnj.edu.
Thank you all. So that concludes the presentation portion of our college fair for today. But now we're going to transition to our Q&A. So our attendees, if you have any questions, feel free again to use that Q&A feature to type your questions to our presenters. To our presenters, feel free to return and turn on your camera, and I will pose a couple questions to the group. Our presenters will respond to the question in the order in which they presented. So the first question here, what is one thing you want people to remember about your institution?
Yeah, at Pacific, I would say one of the things that students often will know as to why they chose to attend Pacific is because of the people. I did not go to Pacific, so I'm in the that many of you have on, of where you're learning about colleges, trying to decide if that's your community, if you'll be able to figure out what makes you you. Well, I had that opportunity here at Pacific, and so the reason that I stay is because of the people I get to work with, whether it's the students that come in each year, or it's the faculty or the facilities crew. It's the people that create a collective family. And so students will often say that it's a family that they choose to attend Pacific. So it's my job to welcome you to that family. And so know that Pacific, we are here to support you and challenge you all at the same time in this next stage in life.
Yeah, something that I want students to remember about Western that I didn't mention in the presentation, obviously that scholarship for students interested in mechanical engineering and computer science is great, but we have a lot of mentorship opportunities. So we certainly have advisors for each of our students, but we also have a peer mentorship program called our EPIC mentorship program. And every single student that comes to Western is paired with a current student who can help walk them through their first year at Western. And it's just a really great way to build community and to make sure that you are getting all of your needs met, both from a professional level and from a student peer level as well.
Thank you all again for hanging out with us this afternoon. Something I'd love for you to think about when it comes to Champlain College actually is our school motto. At Champlain, our motto is Adiamos, which means let us dare. And that's really what we try and instill in our students. Dare to be innovative, dare to think outside the box, dare to try something new. So if you are the type of student that is ready to dive right into your future career to prepare, and you want that support to be a little bit more creative and have the resources from faculty members who are professionals in their field of study at the same time, Champlain might be a really good fit for you. And if you want to learn more about any of that, you can just hop on our website, champlain.edu, or reach out to any of our admissions counselors.
Hello, everyone. The one thing that I would say for you to remember about the College of New Jersey is that in addition to the fact that we're known for offering rigorous academic programming, is that TCNJ really is a place that is committed to the health and wellness and success of its students. And I think one of the ways in which the college demonstrates that best is through its really rich menu of support services. So we understand that if students are struggling outside of the classroom in their personal areas, that's going to impact their academic experience. So we have a number of services, including tutoring, a Center for Student Success, health and wellness, counseling, career services, and more, so that our students are not only academically successful and prepared, but they're having a meaningful experience and ready to launch into their careers.
Thank you all for sharing. Another question here, and again, we'll start with Maddie. What is one myth you'd like to debunk about the college admissions process?
Yeah, I think this is my favorite question because I wish I would have known this when I was going to college. I was a first one in my family to go to college, so everything was new. And I believed that I probably wouldn't get in anywhere, even though I was challenging myself academically. So I think the one myth I want to bust about colleges is you might be surprised by how many places you actually get accepted to. So if you could narrow down your list and really truly spend time with the admissions counselors, my job description is to answer your questions, right? So if you can spend time with just a few colleges, that might actually help you get more opportunities for money, more opportunities, for scholarships. So don't be surprised that you're actually going to get in. It's a little harder to then actually make the decision of where you're going to go. And oftentimes that comes down to financial aid. So it's making that list a little shorter because, yeah, you definitely can get in places. So feel a little confident in yourself. That's my advice.
Yeah, I would say there's been a little bit of confusion about the test optional piece for admissions. And I know each institution does it a little bit differently. So just like Maddie was saying, be sure to work with your admissions counselor to ask them, okay, what does this mean at your institution? At Western, test optional truly means test optional for admissions and scholarships and test placement. So if you don't have test scores, we truly do not need them for any piece of the process. Again, that being said, that could look different at each institution, but we are here as a resource for you. So if that's a confusing piece, just reach out and we're happy to help explain that throughout the process.
Something I'd like to bring up, I wouldn't necessarily call it a myth right now because it's still pretty new, but I know it's a source of anxiety for a lot of students right now. All colleges and college admissions counselors who review applications very much understand how COVID impacted your education over the last few years. Most applications these days do have a section where you can add additional comments that are COVID related. So if you had a really tough time over the last year or so going virtual, having a tough time connecting with teachers, or just mentally having a tough time with living through a global pandemic, please know that we totally understand and that will very much get factored in as we review your applications. If you are still concerned about anything about your grades, transcripts, anything related to your application because of COVID, do not hesitate to connect with your admissions counselor. Any extra context you can provide, whether in the application itself or through a discussion before you apply, is really going to be beneficial. And again, you get it, and we are here to help you.
Yeah, and my tip really just kind of expands on what both Maddie and Emily shared. And I'm not sure if this is a myth, but I think what's important, I hope that you all realize, is that the admissions counselors, the admissions staff, and even the faculty at the schools that you're considering, we are human. We're people just like you all are. And we understand that this is a challenging, maybe overwhelming, stressful process. but we are here to assist you in that. So please feel free to connect with us as often as you need to about as many questions to help you feel confident about choosing the right institution to both apply to and then to call your home at the end of the day.
Thank you all. One final question here. Do you all have any general advice that you would give students that are navigating the college search process right now? And again, we'll start with Maddie.
Excellent. Yeah, my advice is that, applying to colleges is awkward because you have to talk about yourself, and it may be the first time that you've ever done that. You've been asked, what makes you unique? Well, my advice is to connect with people that may know you well. Maybe it's, your high school counselor, maybe it's your grandma, maybe it's your best friend or a parent or guardian. So I would say that chatting with them to find out, hey, what do you think I do well? What do you think makes me unique? And then become comfortable with what that means to you. Maybe find examples. Because it's awkward to talk about yourself, and it's even more awkward to talk about yourself well. And us as colleges, we want to hear about some of those successes, right? How did you overcome something? So I would say chat with a few people, see what you can find out about yourself, and then become comfortable talking about it.
Yeah, my advice would be to visit as many schools as you can, whether that's in person or virtually. I think that's one really good thing that happened throughout the pandemic, is that it really made a lot of institutions realize, okay, we need to be offering these virtual opportunities for students. So if you can get to campus in person, that's a great way to see, if you can envision yourself on that campus for 4 years. It's a great way to interact with students and professors and just kind of get a vibe for what the campus is like. But if you can't make it to campus, that's also totally understandable. And each school does a really great job of providing those virtual opportunities for you to still be able to engage and learn more information about their institutions.
Yeah, I would say on top of everything that Maddie and Lindsay just said, which I 100% agree with, and I'm sure I'll agree with whatever Amanda has to say as well, because this is all great advice, is, think about not only what you want in a college, but what you don't want in a college. Sometimes it can be really hard to think about all the things you do want because it can be so overwhelming. You don't even know where to start. It may be easier to start with what you don't want. Maybe that has to do with location, size, weather. I'm in Vermont. Maybe you don't want to be surrounded by snow. So that might not be the best choice for you, or that sounds great. So maybe start with a don't want list and see where that takes you.
Ditto to what everyone has said. All great advice. What I would add is just that, again, we understand how overwhelming, stressful perhaps the process can be, but hopefully it's also exciting. And so the piece of advice that I would give to you is to try to find a way to enjoy this time in your life, because there will not be a time like it again, right? Where you are not just charting your next path or the next chapter in your story, but you are really thinking about a time where you're going to find a new home for 4 years with hopefully an awesome group of people, learn a lot of things about the world, about yourself, and then really launch into the real world, as we call it, right? And become an adult. And so college is one of the best years, I think, in a person's life. And so I hope as you think about choosing an institution, you try to find some excitement in the college search process.
Thank you all. I feel like that was really great advice from the group. So again, thank you for your insight. So with that said, that concludes our virtual college fair for today. But I do have a few closing announcements. So as you exit from this session, a survey will appear. It's approximately 5 questions or so, but please complete the survey. It's extremely helpful as we aim to improve our virtual college fair offerings. Also to remind you that you can sign up for additional sessions by visiting our registration site. And then finally, you will have access to this recording by visiting College2Career.org. I want to thank all of our amazing presenters for joining us, but also thank you to our attendees again for taking time out of your busy day. I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you so much.